Hello, my name is Carrie Brown and I am with the Central Mississippi Regional Library System. Today I am going to be reading to you chapters 5 and 6 of Mermaids, Merry Fishmas, written by Sudipta Bardhan-Quallen, illustrated by Vivian Wu, and published by Random House Children's Books, New York. Chapter 5. Before Coral knew it, the bell was ringing. The school day was over. "Enjoy Fishmas break," Miss Harbor purred. "Happy holidays!" Coral grabbed Shrimp's letter and swung her backpack over her shoulder. "Let's go to the post office," she said to her friends. "Hopefully the line won't be as long now," Shelley said. The girls swam down Canal Street. Along the way, they passed Meow Meadow. There was a group of Fishmas carolers in front of the gazebo. They were singing "Have Yourself a Meowy Little Fishmas." "I forgot about Fishmas caroling," Angel said. "We haven't done that yet." Coral scowled. "Maybe after we mail the letter." She started to leave, but Shelley stayed behind. "Are you coming?" Coral asked. "Please, can we join the carolers?" Shelley begged. Coral bit her lip. Everyone knew that Shelley loved to sing. She finally said, "Okay, just a few songs, though. We have to get to the post office before it closes." Shelley gave Coral a hug. "Thank you!" she exclaimed. She took Coral's paw and led her toward the carolers. The girls sang along to "Jingle Shell Rock," "Happy Holidays," and "Santa Paws is Coming to Town." By then, Coral was having so much fun she didn't want to stop. "We can come back after we mail the letter," Shelley said. "You're right," Coral said. "Can we quickly stop at the library?" Angel asked. "The Fishmas Sea Fan ceremony is going to start soon. My mom is going to put the topper on the Fishmas Sea Fan this year." "I don't know if we have time," Coral said. "We stopped to carol for Shelley," Angel whined. "Please, it'll only take a few minutes." Coral sighed. Angel loved watching the town Fishmas Sea Fan ceremony as much as Shelley loved caroling. Coral loved her best friends and wanted them to be happy. This year was even more special to Angel because her mother would be putting the final touches on the Fishmas Sea Fan. "Fishmas is when we're supposed to do nice things for the mermaids we love," she thought. "I can't say no to you at Fishmas," she said. "Thank you, Coral," Angel said. "We'll race to the post office right after, I promise." The three kittens left Meow Meadow. There were already so many mermaids waiting in front of the library. The girls swam through the crowd to get as close to the front as they could. Mrs. Shore spied them and waved to them to join her. "I'm glad you three are here," she whispered. "We can only stop for a minute," Angel replied. "We have a job to do for Shrimp." Luckily, the ceremony was about to start. "It's almost Fishmas in Kittentail Cove," Mayor Rivers announced. "I'm happy to see so many mermaids here to celebrate with us. Let's not waste any more time talking. Councilmaid Shore, would you please place the topper on our magnificent Fishmas Sea Fan?" All the mermaids clapped. Mrs. Shore reached into a box near her tail. She took out an unusual topper. Most mermaids placed a starfish on top of their Fishmas Sea Fans. Some, like Coral's parents, got a special starfish that could glow in the dark. But Mrs. Shore didn't have a starfish in her paws. She was holding a deep red crowned jellyfish. She swam up and gently placed it on the very top of the Fishmas Sea Fan. She arranged the tentacles so they fell all around the Fishmas Sea Fan. Then she gave the jellyfish a little shake. In a finstant, bright blue lights flashed from the jellyfish's body and tentacles. "Wow!" Coral purred. "Meowy Fishmas, everyone!" Mrs. Shore shouted. The crowd cheered some more. "That was worth a few minutes, wasn't it?" Angel asked. Coral nodded. "We don't get to see a light show like that every day." "You found a perfect topper, Mrs. Shore," Shelley said. Mrs. Shore smiled. "Thank you," she replied. "Now, can I help you with the job you need to do?" Coral shook her head. "No, we're all right. We just have to stop at the post office to mail my brother's letter to Santa Paws." Mrs. Shore's smile disappeared. "I didn't know you had to go to the post office," she said. "That might be a problem." "Why?" Angel asked. "It's not far from here." "No, it's not," Mrs. Shore said. "But it did close early today." Coral's eyes grew wide. "I didn't know that," she moaned. "What am I going to do now?" Chapter 6. Coral slumped on the steps of the library. She stared at her brother's letter. Angel and Shelley sat on either side of her. "This is all my fault," Shelley said. "I shouldn't have asked to stop for the Fishmas caroling." "No, it's my fault," Angel said. "We should have gone straight to the post office after caroling. Then it still might have been open." Coral shook her head. "This isn't anyone's fault but mine. I shouldn't have stopped anywhere after school. I made a promise to Shrimp. It was my responsibility to make sure I could keep my word." "What do we do?" Shelley asked. Coral shrugged. In the distance, the bells in the Kittentail Cove clock tower started to ring. It was 5 o'clock. "We all need to get home," Angel said. Coral nodded. "But we'll see you at your house tomorrow, right?" Shelley asked. "It's one of my favorite Fishmas Eve traditions," Angel added. Fishmas Eve was a busy night at Lake Restaurant. Shelley's parents worked until very late. As a member of the Kittentail Cove Council, Angel's mother had to attend official ceremonies on Fishmas Eve. That was why Coral, Shelley, and Angel always spent Fishmas Eve at the Marshes' house. "Of course," Coral said. "You'll both help us decorate our Fishmas Sea fan." "Will it be bigger than last year's?" Angel asked, grinning. "Is the ocean wet?" Coral replied, trying to make a joke. But it didn't work. She still felt sad. "It sounds like we're going to have a lot of work to do tonight before Santa Claus comes," Shelley said. "That's it!" Coral exclaimed. "What?" Angel asked. "Santa Claus is coming tomorrow," Coral answered. Angel and Shelley looked at each other. Then Shelley said, "Everyone knows that." "Don't you see? This fixes everything," Coral said. "We don't have to put Shrimp's letter in the snail mail. We can give it to Santa Claus tomorrow." "You're right," Angel purred. "All we have to do is stay up until he arrives, just like Miss Harbor tried to do," Coral said. "It's past my usual bedtime, but I think it'll be all right just this once." Shelley giggled. "It must be important if you're willing to break a rule." Coral smiled. "I promised Shrimp I'd give Santa Claus his letter. I want to make sure I do." Angel took one of Coral's paws. Shelley took the other. "And you'll have us to help you," Angel said. "After all, what are friends for?" Coral worried about seeing Shrimp when she got home. What if he asked me about the letter? She didn't want to lie to him. It would be better if she didn't have to say anything until after she gave the letter to Santa Claus on Fishmas Eve. Luckily, Shrimp had so much to tell his family about his day that he didn't ask any questions. "Our class party was pawsome," he said. He talked about the decorations, snacks, and music. But he was exhausted from all the excitement. He actually fell asleep at the dinner table. "We should all get some rest," Mama whispered as she carried Shrimp to his room. "There will be a lot to do tomorrow." Coral nodded. "I'll need lots of rest for tomorrow night," she thought. She blew her parents kisses and purred, "Good night." For most of Fishmas Eve, Coral didn't even have a chance to worry about Shrimp's letter. There was so much to do. "I want everything to be perfect for Santa Claus," she kept saying. The Marsh family pinned their Fishmas cards to the walls. They hung jingle shells and kelp garlands, and then they started hanging ornaments on the Fishmas Sea fan. This year, Papa had found the biggest Fishmas Sea fan that Coral had ever seen. It reached the ceiling of the living room. It still wasn't completely decorated when the doorbell rang. Ding dong! Coral rushed to open it. "I've got it, Mama!" she shouted. Shelley and her mother, Mrs. Lake, were waiting outside. "Come in," Coral said. "Thank you, Coral," Mrs. Lake said. Shelley hugged Coral. "Meowie Fishmas Eve," she said. Coral was about to close the front door when she saw a flash of black and white fur. She peeked outside. "Angel, you're here!" she exclaimed. "Late, of course," Shelley joked. "Just a little bit late," Angel replied. "That's only because I rushed her," Mrs. Shore said. She winked at Coral. Coral led the Permaids into the living room. As soon as they saw the Fishmas sea fan, everyone clapped. "This is the most Fishmasy sea fan yet," Mrs. Shore gasped. "It's simply fin-credible," Mrs. Lake added. Papa smiled. "Thank you. It wasn't easy to find one this size." "Thank you for hosting the girls on Fishmas Eve again," Mrs. Shore said. "It's our pleasure," Mama purred. "Fishmas is meowiest when you spend it with good friends." Coral pulled Shelley and Angel to the side of the room. "Are you still going to help me get Shrimp's letter to Santa Claus?" "Of course," Angel agreed. "It's going to be the best part of Fishmas Eve," Shelley said. Thank you. Join us next week for chapters 7 and 8. Goodbye.